This year, the Olympics were watched by 3 billion people from all around the world, with participants from 207 countries. It was the largest Olympics in history, yet, despite the vast number of countries involved, one significant nation was notably absent: Russia. The reason behind this exclusion was that Russia was informed prior to the event that, due to its actions in Ukraine, it would not be permitted to participate. Meanwhile, in the same year, Israel celebrated its most significant achievement ever, securing 1 gold medal and 7 silver medals. So, is Russia the only oppressor while Israel is not? The reality is that the Olympics have never been purely about sports. They have always been intertwined with global politics. The story of the Olympics traces back 2,800 years to the Greek god Zeus, who was the central figure in Greece's most powerful religion of that era. Around 2,800 years ago, the world only had a few major religions: the pharaoh's belief system in Egypt, Hinduism in India, and Judaism in Palestine. In Europe, however, the Greek religion, with Zeus as its supreme god, was dominant. During this time, a Greek king constructed a grand temple in his capital, Olympia, to honor Zeus. Adjacent to this temple, a large arena called a stadion was built. This ancient Greek term evolved into the Latin and English word stadium. Thus, the term stadium originated due to the Olympics, and today, remnants of this temple and stadium can still be found in Olympia, Greece. Following the stadium's construction, the first Olympic Games were held, but these were not just ordinary games, they were part of the worship of Zeus. Initially, people would visit the temple to worship Zeus, after which 11 girls would light a massive flame in front of the temple, so large that it would continue burning throughout the duration of the Olympics. This event is significant because even today, prior to each Olympics, 11 girls light a flame in front of the very same temple in Olympia, Greece. This fire is then used to ignite a torch that is carried, without being extinguished, from Olympia to the city where the Olympic opening ceremony is held. This torch relay is a grand spectacle involving thousands of people running from one city to another to transport it. Once the torch reaches its destination, the Olympics officially commence. In the beginning, the Olympic Games were more religious rituals than sports, consisting of only a few events like running, wrestling, and javelin throwing. Over time, more games were added, and spectators from distant places began attending. Boxing, which closely resembled modern boxing with fighters wearing gloves, also became popular and is depicted in ancient Greek art. Eventually, the Olympics grew so renowned that every child in Greece aspired to be an Olympia, leading to Greece producing some of history's mightiest warriors, especially the Spartans. The emphasis on physical fitness in Greece, fueled by fierce Olympic competition, is evident in the well-built physiques seen in ancient Greek sculptures. Even 500 years after the Olympics began, Greek warriors remained powerful, but they were continually at war with each other, preventing the rest of the world from fully realizing their strength. However, 500 years after the first Olympics, King Philip united all of Greece, ending internal conflicts. His son, Alexander the Great, then assembled a formidable army of Greek warriors and expanded his empire from Greece to the borders of Pakistan and India. Despite creating such a vast empire, Alexander the Great died at the age of just 32. After his death, his empire was divided into 4 parts as his generals began fighting among themselves. One of these segments controlled Pakistan, and for the next several centuries, these Greek rulers governed the northern and western regions of Pakistan, gradually integrating with the local population. Today, a tribe in northern Pakistan called the Kalash claims to be descendants of Alexander the Great's army. The people of northern Pakistan are quite different from other Pakistanis and Indians, bearing more resemblance to Europeans with their blue eyes and blonde hair. Scientifically, blue eyes are known to have first appeared in Europe, leading to speculation that these genes were introduced to northern Pakistan by Alexander's army, though this is yet to be conclusively proven. The vast empire Alexander built in just 10 years was quickly divided into 4, leading to the gradual decline of Greek power. As Greece weakened, another city, Rome, swiftly rose in prominence, eventually forming the Roman Empire, which expanded so rapidly that it even conquered Greece. But this did not signify the end of Greek culture because Greece and Rome were similar, akin to the relationship between the United Kingdom and the United States today. Both nations practiced the same religion with slight differences. In Greece, Zeus was worshipped, while in Rome, the same god was known as Jupiter, the largest planet in our solar system. Jupiter is also named after this Roman god. The Roman Empire didn't eradicate Greek culture. Instead, it spread it further, even bringing the Olympic Games from Greece to their capital, Rome. For many years, the Olympics continued in the Roman Empire with the same traditions: worship first, followed by the lighting of the fire, and then the games. It's said that one of these Olympic Games was witnessed by 40,000 spectators, a remarkable number considering the world's population at that time was only a few million. The Roman Empire grew to become the world's most powerful empire, but eventually, Romans grew weary of the simple Olympic style, leading them to invent new, more dangerous games like gladiator battles inspired by the Olympics. These events took place in large stadiums in Rome, where thousands of spectators would gather to watch gladiators fight to the death, with the last survivor declared the winner. While the Roman Empire indulged in these entertainments, at its peak 2,000 years ago, a man from the province of Palestine, belonging to the children of Israel, proclaimed himself as a messenger from God. This man was Jesus Isaac, peace be upon him, whom the Jews first rejected and then conspired to have killed by the Roman Empire. However, God saved him. After Jesus, peace be upon him, life went on as usual, and people largely forgot about this event. But a few of his followers continued to spread Christianity within the Roman Empire, although this early form of Christianity was very different from what it is today. A century after Jesus, peace be upon him, Christianity began to slowly spread within the Roman Empire. In response, the Romans started persecuting Christian scholars severely. One famous Christian priest, Ignatius, was summoned by the Roman emperor and thrown before a hungry lion in the Colosseum in Rome, in front of thousands of spectators. The crowd initially roared with excitement, but Ignatius stood firm before the lion. The lion approached him and, instead of attacking, sat down, leaving the crowd in stunned silence. Eventually, the lion did attack and devour Ignatius, but the event quickly spread throughout the Roman Empire. Inspired by his sacrifice, more people began turning towards Christianity. Over the next 200 years, the Roman Empire gradually abandoned its traditional religion and embraced Christianity. Eventually, the Roman Emperor Constantine converted to Christianity, leading the entire Roman Empire to follow suit. Once this happened, the rulers abolished all old practices of idol worship, including the Olympic Games, as the Olympics were dedicated to the worship of Zeus. The conflict between Christianity and the Olympics has deep historical roots. At the opening ceremony of the 2024 Olympic Games, a video was shown that blatantly mocked Christianity and Christians by distorting one of the most famous Christian paintings. In a way, the Olympics finally exacted their revenge on Christianity. The Olympic Games were discontinued in the Roman Empire, but eventually the Roman Empire itself declined, especially after a significant portion was conquered by the Rashidun Caliphate. For the next 600 years, Muslims became the world's superpower until their dominance was challenged by Genghis Khan and his descendants. The Mongol Empire ended the Arab Caliphate, but a new caliphate emerged, the Ottoman Caliphate, which for the first time conquered Greece. However, like all empires, the Ottoman Empire gradually weakened, and about 200 years ago, Greece revolted and gained independence from the Ottoman Empire. When Greece celebrated its independence, a Greek journalist wrote an article suggesting that now, with freedom, they should revive their ancient Greek culture. This was the first mention in 200 years of reviving the Olympic Games. Finally, in 1896, the 2,800-year-old Olympic Games were revived. Initially, only a few games were held, but with the support of America and Europe, the Olympics quickly became the world's biggest event, with countries from around the globe participating. As the Olympics grew in popularity, they became more than just games. For some powerful nations, they became a way to display their strength. Over the past century, the country that won the most gold medals at the Olympics often emerged as the world's superpower. For example, for the past 100 years, the United States has consistently won the most gold medals because it has been the global superpower. However, during this time, any nation that sought to challenge America's dominance also tried to surpass it at the Olympics. Before World War II, under Hitler's Nazi regime, Germany dominated the Olympics because it had risen as Europe's most powerful nation. After World War II, Germany's influence waned, but a new superpower emerged, the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union began challenging America's hegemony, and as it grew in power, it won the most gold medals in 6 out of the next 9 Olympic Games. However, around 30 years ago, due to the invasion of Afghanistan and internal economic troubles, the Soviet Union collapsed, leaving America as the sole global superpower. Once again, America began winning the most medals at the Olympics. Over the past 30 years, China has become the only country capable of challenging American dominance. China first participated in the 1984 Olympics in Los Angeles, where it impressed the world by winning 15 gold medals. In the next 20 years, China's economic and military power grew rapidly, and by the time it hosted the 2008 Olympics in Beijing, it had become America's biggest rival. In 2008, China won the most gold medals for the first time in Olympic history. Since then, a fierce competition has ensued between America and China. In 2012, the US regained the top spot, and in 2016, it held onto it. However, in the 2024 Olympics, which recently concluded in Paris, China was the real victor, winning more gold medals than America. This year, the Olympic Games have not only been watched by more people than ever before, but have also witnessed the most intense rivalry between two of the world's most powerful nations. The rivalry is now spilling beyond sports into every aspect of global politics, leading many to believe that the world is on the brink of a new Cold War, this time between America and China. Subscribe.